Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We have been having so much fun enjoying the St. Patrick's Day season. We wanted to create a little pot of gold, and we are always up to shenanigans, so I think we'll be taking turns hiding it and seeing who can find it. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give us a like, a share, a comment. Let us know how yours turned out, and please hit that subscribe button. So our first step today is we're going to cast on with a plain black acrylic yarn. Any 100% black acrylic yarn will do. And this will be the outer part, the cauldron of our pot of gold. Okay, so we're going to work on our 120 rows and then we'll meet you back for the next step.
Did you know the largest gold nugget ever found was found in Australia by John Deason and Richard Oates? It weighed over 173 pounds. Leprechauns originate from Irish folklore. They're also considered to be mischievous with a strong distrust for humans. So don't let them steal your pot of gold.
Okay, now that we've gone our 120 rows using a long tail, we're going to go ahead and bind off our project, and then we're going to set aside this black portion that does the cauldron or the pot, and we're going to move on to the center. We're going to work on the yellow center. Okay, so we're moving on to the center, and we're just using this basic acrylic size 4 yarn. It's called Bright Yellow, and you can pick it up at any local craft store, but I think that any yellow that you have will work as long as it's close to a coin color. So I just want to mention that so far we've been using the 46 key machine to do the cauldron or the pot, the black portion, and then also we're going to use it for the center gold portion. But then later when we move on to the coins, we're going to go and move to the smaller machine, I believe it's 22 key machine, and we're going to use the 22 key machine to make the coins. So using the large 46 key machine, we're going to leave a long tail, and we're going to go ahead and cast on, and we're going to go 50 rows.
Did you know a lunar rainbow is a rainbow that occurs at night? It is often more faint than one that occurs in the day because the light from the moon isn't as bright as the light from the sun.
Now that we finished our 50 rows, we're going to go ahead and leave a long tail, and then we're going to go ahead and bind off, and then we'll meet you back for the next step. Now that we have our center for our pot of gold done, we're going to go ahead and cinch the one side closed. And today I am going to be using the needle to run a few stitches around the top. I just want to get a nice tight close. So as you can see, I'm just putting my needle through the yarn knitted rows, just a few of them at a time, and then I'm pulling my needle through. So continue to repeat that process all the way around. I'll grab a few rows with the needle and go through the center of them, and then I'll pull the string through. And I like to do this process when I don't have another string to help me kind of tighten and cinch it down. and knot it all together. This way I know that the hole is closed and nice and tight. And the last thing I do is finish off with a knot to close it all together. Okay, now that the one side is tightly closed together, I'm going to go ahead and grab the fiberfill and I'm going to go ahead and begin filling it. Now that we finished rough stuffing our center, we're going to move on to the black portion of it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the one side and stuff it inside the other, because we're kind of making a double layer here, and it's almost kind of like you would make a hat. This is kind of like the same process of which you're kind of like stuffing the one half inside of the other. Okay, and once I have them all evenly together, I like to go ahead and I'm just gonna make sure this center one is nice and cinched closed. I'm gonna pull it nice and tight, and then I'm going to take the outer one and cinch it closed. And then since I have two strings together, I'm just gonna go ahead and knot them together. Okay, now that I have the one side done, I'm going to go ahead and fold this back, and then see how I left the top portion open, and I've already pre-threaded a needle here for you. I'm going to take that and I'm going to look for the center of the black, the part right there in the center. I want to go right through the center there, and I'm going to bring it up through the bottom. And then I want to kind of pull it tight and wrap it around our center portion of the pot of gold. Okay, and now I'm just going to take the strings and the bottom and I'm going to knot them all together just to kind of tack it into place so that it will stay together. Right, I'm going to go ahead and rethread the needle because I want to go ahead and hide this yellow string in through the center. And so I'm just going to run it right straight through the center. It'll come out here at the top, and then I'm just going to take the string and tuck it in. Okay, so we originally left this portion of the pot of gold open, and that way as you're stuffing it, and once you have it inside the cauldron here, you can know how high you want to go or at what level you want, because everybody has different tastes and how they do it. And now we're going to go ahead and start cinching this closed. And since I only have one string, I like to go ahead and sew it closed because it doesn't get as tight unless I do that when I have only one string. So I'm just going to grab a few of the knitted rows here with my needle, kind of going through the center there, and then I'm going to pull my string through. And then I'm just going to continue all the way around in the same pattern. And I just want to mention now that ours rolls down and it sits nicely, but if you want, you can go ahead and add a stitch around the side edges here. If you have like a little kid who may be playing with it or snuggling with it, you might want to go ahead and add just a few little stitches to kind of tack that roll down. Okay, and now that it's nice and tight, I like to just finish off with a couple knots here. And I'm gonna catch a few little knitted pieces here and then tie a knot. And then I like to just take my needle through the center and kind of tuck that string in to finish it off. That way it's nice and hidden inside the project, and then I cut it off and it's good. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to making the gold coins. We will be using the 22-inch knitting machine, and we will be going 10 rows. So we're just going to go ahead and cast on, and then we will knit 10 rows. And it's going to be a small swath, but it makes a perfect size gold coin. Okay, now that we've done our 10 rows, we're going to go ahead and bind off. The swath is going to be a little small, but it's going to make a really cute gold coin. And we'll show you how we sew it all up together in the next step. Okay, and as you can see here, our swath is a little small, but that's okay because it makes a cute gold coin. And we're just going to go ahead and start cinching the one side together, just kind of smoothing it out with your fingers. And then I'm going to grab this other back side here and I'm going to pull that as well. And it takes a little smoothing with the hands to kind of get it to cinch together because you're working with a little small piece. And then once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and tuck the string from the one side all the way through to the other side. And then I'm going to pull that. And then I'm going to just check and make sure that both sides, see this one's a little bit open, so I need to grab the string there and make sure I pull it in nice and tight. And once you're sure they're nice and tight, I like to go ahead and knot it all together. And I usually do 2 times. And we're going to be making about 11 of these. Ours fits 11 gold coin, but this is the really exciting part. You can make it your own. So I would do at least 11, but depending on how big you made your center to begin with, remember the stuffing, you could decide if you wanted to go larger or if you want to go a little bit smaller. You might have a few more or a few less coins, but this is the fun part. This is the part where you get to make it your own. And there's 2 ways that you can finish this off. You can sew all the gold coin pieces on, or if you're in a pinch, in a hurry, you can just get out that hot glue gun and attach it that way. So we decided that we're just going to use the hot glue gun. We like it. It's efficient. So, but we like to tuck the string in to the coins, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're just going to put the needle in and just kind of run it around a little bit and then pull it out. And that way it kind of tucks inside the yellow coin. Okay, Okay, so we've already glued down the first 3 center ones. The glue gun's a little hot and hard to work with and do the camera, but we also like to go ahead and have our gold coins laid out so that as we're doing the hot glue gun, we know exactly where it needs to go, because you're kind of moving quickly with the hot glue gun and it's a little bit more efficient and it works well for us. So. That's our pot of gold, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like, a share, a comment. We love to hear how your projects turned out. And please hit that subscribe button.